Automated web traffic has evolved to a new, highly sophisticated class of visitor. These are AI agents, autonomous software designed to rapidly crawl and synthesize information to execute specific tasks for their users. The problem is that these agents are navigating environments built for our eyes. When an AI tries to read a standard web page, it has to parse through heavy design layers, menus, footers, and stylistic formatting that have absolutely nothing to do with the actual data. This diagram illustrates the technical cost. As the complex wireframe loads, the token counter rapidly depletes. The agent is forced to exhaust massive amounts of computational power just to extract a single relevant fact from the HTML. The web we built for human consumption operates as a bottleneck for machine intelligence, preventing these agents from executing work efficiently. Even with a perfect parse, the most critical context is usually missing. The real operating manual of a business, things like private database schemas, incident runbooks, and proprietary metrics, is rarely published on a public domain. Instead, that internal knowledge is scattered across disconnected company silos, isolated data repositories, and buried code comments. Standard web hyperlinks do not explicitly define how these concepts sit relative to each other. A link won't tell an agent which specific tactic maps to an overarching strategy, or how an internal database table joins with another. Brands have spent a decade optimizing their public face, but they lack a machine-readable manual to guide AI tools trying to work on their behalf. Google Cloud introduced a technical standard to fix this gap, the Open Knowledge Format, or OKF. OKF discards visual web design entirely. It structures information as a simple directory of clean markdown files, prioritizing raw text over presentation. This diagram illustrates progressive disclosure. Starting from a single index file, the hierarchical directory opens step by step. Agents read the index first, loading only requested files. Navigating sequentially bypasses token burn, consuming exactly what's needed without heavy HTML payloads. Scattered knowledge becomes a strictly queryable graph. The logic holding this structure together sits at the top of every file, in a block called YAML front matter. This metadata explicitly maps how abstract concepts, datasets, and metrics relate to one another. Because it relies entirely on plain text and metadata, an OKF bundle is completely portable. It operates as a simple offline folder rather than content locked behind a live web domain. Organizations can host this entire knowledge graph inside a Git repository, allowing teams to track line-by-line diffs and maintain exact version control. This offline architecture means AI agents can traverse highly private knowledge silos locally. They can read and synthesize internal company data without ever exposing it to the open web. OKF provides a secure, version-controlled sandbox equipped with the precise context an AI needs to execute complex organizational tasks. This framework formalizes an emerging concept known as the LLM Wiki, a self-maintaining markdown library explicitly built to serve as an agent's memory over time. We have seen this type of shift before. Just as JSON-LD structured HTML to help search engines understand public websites, OKF structures Markdown to help AI agents understand internal logic. When an agent lacks explicit structure, it is forced to guess the relationships between fragmented data. The result is unpredictable behavior and severe hallucinations. Without machine-readable data, a brand either remains invisible to modern AI models or becomes a highly unreliable source of information. Competitive advantage now depends on how an organization treats its documentation as an active operating manual. Success is determined by how well the underlying data architecture supports automated work. The glossy interface is designed for people. Machines strictly consume structure. To become an AI-cited source, organizations must stop painting the surface and start architecting their knowledge.